you know what I haven't asked you yet? Giants related. So I texted you guys last night, and one of the things I said was, thank God Blake Snell gave up a hit to lead off the 7th inning. And I know that's super, sacrilege to say that, as if I'm rooting against a perfect game. But I think anybody who's a locked-in Giants fan, as Blake entered the 7th inning, you understood the conundrum, which is it's not just a no-hitter, it's a perfect game. By the way, I have a story to tell you about it too, but okay. I'll save that for a second. It's a perfect game. That's so special. Grandy, how many of these have there been in the history of the game? 25-ish?
I think fewer than that. Perfect games?
Perfect games in the history. How many have there been?
24.
24. Okay. Yeah. So there you go.
I was right. Fewer than that.
It would have been the 25th. So these are so special. You can't take those from a guy. But the injuries, the issues, my God, you're not going to put Blake Snell's second half on the line chasing a perfect game. So at this moment, he's entering the 7th inning, and he's in the neighborhood of 75 pitches, 73, 74, 75 pitches. Let's say he gets through that inning, and at the end of the 7th inning, he was at 80 pitches. So 80 pitches, 7 innings in the book. He's got a perfect game. Dibs, hot shot. What do? You
throw him out there for the next inning. You let him continue pitching to chase history, because as we've seen with Blake Snell, you don't know when that injury, that adductor, that groin is going to pop up, and he's a guy who has, a live arm. It's not an arm issue, and his pitch count was low enough. You don't take him out in that spot. Gabe Kapler probably would. He would have taken him out in the 4th.
We had to pitch hit for him.
Exactly.
Even though he doesn't hit.
So you let him keep going. You let him go out there and try to do something that's only been done 24. Actually, it is 25 perfect games.
Okay.
There was Galarraga who got it taken away by Jim Joyce. So
Fair
maybe
point.
it actually is 25 perfect games.
Then again, you very clearly earlier in this show said scoreboard. The call is the call. It's a judgment call.
That's right.
And we have to stick with judgment calls.
Unfortunately, we do.
So Galarraga did not throw a perfect game.
No, he didn't.
Even though I know he did.
Yes.
Anyway. Okay. What about this, though? You want him to go out there and chase it. Obviously, he's going to take at least another 10 pitches to get through the 8th. Let's be real, probably more than that. Let's say the inning goes well. You're done with 8 innings. He's at 95 pitches. Now what do?
Throw him out there.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm sick and tired of bubble wrapping these guys. Blake Snell hasn't pitched much all year. He's got a fresh arm.
That's the point. Is he fresh or is it not fresh?
He's been stretched out now.
Has he?
This is July.
It's the first time he's pitched the 7th inning all year.
But because
he hasn't pitched the 6th inning until yesterday.
Because normally he's at 80 pitches through 4 because he's got control problems normally. But now, yesterday, he didn't. And he was absolutely locked in. He had 8 strikeouts through the 7. He gave up just the 1 hit, which was immediately erased on a double play ground ball. Yep. So you get through 7, and you've gone only 80 pitches. If he hadn't given up that hit and he had remained perfect, you throw him out there for the 8th, and even if he's at 100 pitches after 8, then you have a little bit of a tougher call. But if there's a perfect game through 8, I don't care if he's at 137 pitches. Let the man throw. You're chasing history.
I understand your overall concept, and I'm with you. I hate that we're here, but we're here. This is life now. And at a certain point, those of us who've been watching sports for more than a minute are going to have to get used to load management in the NBA. We're going to have to get used to getting pinch hit for in the 6th inning because you're not left-handed, or pitchers coming out in the 7th inning with special things on the line. Paul Skeens just last Thursday, a no-hitter through 7. No-hitter through 7. Kid's like 18 years old. Oh, he's young, he's fresh. You're out. You're out. Yanked him.
Yeah, don't like it.
I don't either, but we're not going to win this fight.
I know.
And listen to the tone of Brian Price's voice. This is the Giants pitching coach, and he's asked, had he gotten perfect? He didn't even ask him if they were perfect through 8. He asked him, what if he's perfect through 7? What would you have done?
Great question, and one I probably can't answer honestly because I didn't really know. At that point in time, we know that we had gotten Blake up and down 5 times in his rehabs, going from 5 innings to 9 innings. As much as the pitch count might have been low, you're still cooling off and having to go back out. I think that as much as the populace thinks that these guys are just going to go out there and chase the perfect game or chase the no-hitter, I think those days are kind of over, especially with the injuries and the investments in the players and their health. I think we would have played it pitch by pitch, inning by inning for sure.
Okay. And that's from NBC Sports Bay Area post-game interview, and there's actually another one I want to play from Brian Price in a moment. But I don't hear in his voice, hell, bro, it was a perfect game. Got to do it. Got to go for that. I don't hear that in his voice at all.
No, and also the interesting thing that I think we're starting to learn more about as far as the approach goes is not so much the pitches themselves, but the up and the down. The fact that he has to go and cool off.
That was interesting.
And come back out. But the good part of this is there's no cooling off when you have a Giants offense that cools itself off. So by the time he goes over there and gets a towel and a glass of water, you're back on the mound. That whole game yesterday?
Not necessarily.
The game yesterday marked 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Yeah,
so
largely, though, because he was dealing.
Right, but the Giants' half innings were not long half innings for the most part.
I hear you. But the reason the pace of the game was what it was because the Twins got absolutely no base runners. The Giants had 8 hits. That's a whatever.
It's fine.
It's a passable amount.
No doubt. But I think that the idea of the up-down is becoming more of a thing to watch as opposed to the number of pitches themselves, especially when you're mowing through the lineup and you're not having long, high pitch count innings. It allows you to, stay fresh and your arm is good. And even if you have to go sit down for 8 or 9 minutes, you go back out, you get loose and you keep dealing. But you're right. This is a battle that we're not going to win. And even the complete game itself, forget the no-hitter and the perfect game, even the complete game or the shutout is something that we don't even see that often anymore.
Not often, yeah. Although, gosh, with the way things are going with Camilo Doval, let's imagine Logan Webb in his next start is at 97 pitches, and the Giants are up 2-1, and Logan has finished his 8 innings. Who are you sending out there for the 9th? Conventional wisdom of late would tell you to send out Camilo Doval. I'd send out Logan Webb.
No doubt. And I think the way he pitches and maybe, the up-downs doesn't affect Logan Webb as much when he goes and sits down and comes back out because he's not throwing 97. And Logan has a certain amount of just efficiency, and he kind of is like a horse, like old school Matt Cain. He's a horse. He's a guy you could throw out there for 110, 115 just because of the way he throws. And
he's a competitor.
I think he leads the majors in innings pitched.
I think you're right. Okay. Here's, by the way, let's find out what Blake Snell had to say. Were you aware? This is always my favorite one. Did you know you had a perfect game? I never believe when the pitcher's like, I had no idea until like the 8th. Yes, you did. You're aware that nobody got on base. You are very aware. I
don't think I've gone out of the stretch today.
Boy, I hadn't even thought about what the other team was doing. You know that nobody's gotten on base. Were you aware it was a perfect game, and what was the pitch count plan?
Yeah, I was aware of it. I also knew with how I've been feeling and what I've been going through that the only way I was going to even think about it is if I kept it under 100. So anything a pitch over I wasn't going to do. So we didn't get there, so that's fine. But definitely building back into it is the number one priority on my mind is go as deep as we can, but with the pitchers, it's going to go 80, 85 today, so happy with that.
Okay, so he said absolutely unequivocally hard capped at 100 pitches, which means, and this is why I texted you guys what I said when I was like, thank God he gave up a hit. Because do you know what the chances are of, if he had gotten through the 7th at 80 pitches, do you know what the chances are of closing that 6 more outs in 20 pitches?
Yeah, not great.
Not good.
Well, especially the way he goes about it, because he tends to be, high volume at bats.
He goes deep into counts.
Yes.
He goes deep into because he strikes out people. And he pushes counts. He goes through a lot of 3-ball counts. The idea of doing that in 20 pitches, because it's only going to get more painful the closer you get.
Yeah.
I'd rather you take him out after 7 than take him out after 8. Or, God forbid, imagine one of these situations. You're in the 9th. You get the first out.
And he's at 100 pitches.
The second hitter goes on one of these 9-pitch foul ball at bats. What do? You're sitting there like on the edge of history, but realizing that this incredibly important second half of the season feels like it's on the brink.
Especially with a guy who, I won't say that he's fragile, but he's been injured twice already this year.
Yep.
He's had 2 stints on the IL, so you're finally getting him back. And he's a great second-half pitcher. He's an unbelievable second-half pitcher. And here he is pitching great in the second half of the year. And so you don't want to lose him, but at the same time, you don't want to deny him a chance at history. So it would have been a tough call. Logan Webb, 3rd in baseball in innings pitched. And just at a quick glance, there have only been 17 complete games thrown this year across the entire league.
Jeez.
Max Fried leads the league. Leads all of baseball with 2 complete games. He's the only one to throw 2 complete games.
Yeah. Does Logan doesn't have any this year, does he?
I don't see that, no. No Giant.
No Giant. No, definitely not. No, Logan is the only one who's even, you know what I mean, who even flirts with it.
Yeah.
Even flirts with it. That's the thing when people are like, Snell only goes 5. Who the hell doesn't? Who goes 6 innings for the Giants? Logan.
Right.
Who else?
That's about it. Harrison's getting there. If he's on, he'll go 6.
Yeah, like that. He has to be really good. He has to be really good. Did he go 6 in this one over the weekend? Friday night. What did Harrison go? Because he won that game. He pitched really, really well. Let's see. I can't remember exactly how many innings he went. Let me pull this up. Giants win 7-1. Kyle Harrison. Click box score. 5 1/3.
There you go.
Didn't even finish the 6th inning. And that's a game where the Giants, in that moment in the 5th inning, are up 4-0. Actually, they're up 3-0. No. He completed 5. They're up 4-0. And he gives up a couple base runners. And he got 1 out, but it was kind of hard hit. And the Giants were like,
that'll do it.
Gone.
Yep.
Gone. We're not letting you lose this game.
He's completed 6 innings 7 times this year.
Kyle?
Harrison.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. That's more than I would have guessed.
It's sad that we look at that as like,
6 innings.
You're an Iron Man. You went 6.
How many times he completed 7? Any?
1.
Yeah.
1 time.
In Colorado.
1 time.
Totally. It's a shame, but it's where we are with baseball now, and it's something that, kind of like with load management, you have to just understand that is the new way of doing things, and you have to just deal with it.